So this is going to be an intro. I recorded an intro for the section you're about to see, but I didn't cover some of the things that you need to have handy. When you're doing the bending of the stems, the acrylic stems, you want to have pipe cleaners that are longer than the stem, quite a good deal longer, so that you can keep tension on the stem. You're going to want some water, room temperature or colder. You don't want it too cold. You don't want to shock the material and crack it. You're going to want to get those stems or those pipe cleaners soaking in the water, so you can use it. Now you're going to need a heat source of some kind. I prefer a heat gun. It's controllable, it's movable, and this is just clamped in my little flexible table vise here. I can put this thing on almost any flat surface. It's really quite nifty. It's got a little ball joint here so I can move it at angles if I need to. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to bend some Vermont freehand forever stems that got unbent, because if you get them unbent, then they haven't seen heat, and if you're going to drill them out for filters, they go a lot better if they haven't seen any heat. So, and if you need any tips on drilling for filters, I have a quick video on that. You guys probably have already seen, but now I'll cut over to the other part of the video that I made. You'll have to forgive my outfit and the angle. This is what I'm wearing for the weekend, and the angle is what I have to how I can show you everything in one shot without having to do fancy camera work. Hey everybody, it's Garrett. So I got my camera set up all weird so that I can do this all in one shot. But I'm going to walk through what I've done to bend acrylic stems in the past. I'll try and get this same kind of bend you see here. It's just really subtle. I'm going to apply that same amount of bend to this perfectly straight piece here. This one's already drilled out for everything that I want. So I guess you just get to stare at my stomach because I'm too tall to do this all in one shot. So I've got a longer wet pipe cleaner. I'm going to shove that through the airway so that it doesn't collapse when we bend it. I'm going to turn on the heat gun and get it warming up. And get some gloves on because I don't feel like getting burnt, and neither should you. So you can see that that's nice and warm. And what we're going to do is focus the heat on this area here where the bend takes place. We're going to rotate and get the material all nice and warm through there. Now you can do this in boiling water, but this is a lot more controllable for me. I feel a lot more comfortable with it. And it doesn't take long. I've got this about 5 inches away from the end of the heat gun. It's a basic heat gun and it's on high. And I'm going to, with my thumb, test the bend. It's pretty pliable right now, but not ultra pliable. Get it a little hotter. There we go. Now we can apply the bend. Kill the heat gun so you can hear me. So the bend is here, and I'm holding it. Now I'm going to use the pipe cleaner in it to help hold that slight bend. We're going to hold it till it cools a little bit, and then we're going to put it in the water to make sure it cools all the way. But I have quite a few stems to do, and I don't want to get these gloves soaking wet. Dip that in the water there. Pull the pipe cleaner out. And now you can see I didn't go too hard. It's a really subtle bend. Really similar to the subtle bend on the factory stem here. And this is a Vermont Freehand Forever stem. It's an Italian acrylic stem. But you see the angles are quite similar. And that's how I do that. Now you can run a dry pipe cleaner through them. This is a stem I've used in the past, so my germs are my germs. But that's the process. Once it's cooled down, it'll hold that shape. But if it ever gets that warm again, any material that I've seen, and I haven't messed with a whole lot of them, but I've watched a lot of videos and other things, they'll return back to their factory shape. So it's going to go straight. And so this is a really handy process to keep in mind. So I'm going to do the same thing one more time with this big flat one. It's kind of fat there. I'm just going to give it a subtle bend at the end. So I've got the pipe cleaner through there. I'm going to focus the heat right here. And I'm going to have just a subtle bend to come down maybe 10 degrees right there. Turn the heat gun on again. I do have a heat gun on high. There we go. I'm able to give it a bend there. I'm able to give it a bend right there at that level of heat. And hold it. It's not a very big bend, and it doesn't have to be a very big bend. So you can see that there. Just a subtle bend. Now, if you get it really hot, you can do some pretty extreme bends, but I also don't want to fatigue the material any more than I have to. Show you one that's not bent versus one that is. So, not bent, bent. See, it's just a little bend in this one because it's not very long. But you still want it to be comfortable. You don't want to change the bite zone, and you want to make sure that you're not creating flat spots if you can avoid it. So, unbend, bend. And I don't know how much more I can explain this, but yeah, that's pretty much the process I've been using for bending stems. I know I've been promising this video for a while, and yeah, hadn't had any to bend, so I didn't have a way to make it. There you go. I'm going to keep on bending these, and we'll see you for the next video we put out. Bye.